It is the 4th of July 2020. I am in King's Chapel Burial Ground in Boston, named after that building you see right in front of me there, King's Chapel, erected in 1754. But this burial ground itself dates all the way back to 1630. And you see that raised platform over there yonder? That is the grave of John Winthrop and many of his descendants. But the reason I came in here today is just to visit this grave right here. It is the grave of John Winslow and Mary Chilton. Mary Chilton being the first lady of the Mayflower down in Plymouth in 1620. Her husband, John Winslow, was a brother of Edward Winslow, who was a passenger on the Mayflower. But this fellow, John Winslow, he came back on the second ship that came in the following year called the Fortune. Now, the reason I'm standing here is I want to pay homage to a man that I had out here with me some time ago called Dave Durand. He and his son and his wife were with me one day, and they stood right here beside this grave because both men are direct descendants from this couple from the 1620s. And it was a very memorable occasion for me, and it was a fantastic day. Now, I have a lot of fantastic days, of course, when I'm out on tour, but this one was better than most because this man, Dave Durand, had such an impact on me. After all, I only spent 6 or 7 hours in his company or whatever. That's how long a good 4-hour tour lasts. I think we were out for maybe 9 hours, but we were out for quite a length of time, and we had a fantastic day. But he left a lasting impression on me, and I was very, very sorry to see, and somewhat shocked, his recent passing. And it was very, very sad, of course. But we must draw comfort from the fact that this fellow had a greater impact on others in his life than maybe 10 ordinary people would have had. Now, when I come into this burial ground, I nearly always stop at a headstone back here right at the entrance. And I'm going to go right back now and have a look at it. You will see a lot of inscriptions on this headstone, but the one important one I want to point out to today is on top of the skull, which represents our mortality, the wings representing the hope and the expectation that we will fly up into heaven. Down below, of course, we've got the skeleton, which represents that we are mortal and into dust we will return. Then we will see our candle of life, and we have the spirit of death trying to snuff out our candle of life, and we are being protected by our guardian angel behind him. That is some of the stuff that was frequently on headstones here back in the Puritan times. But the important one is the symbol above the head. It shows our life, and the grains of sand will be dropping from top to bottom, and when the final one drops, then our life is over. Now, we cannot impact the amount of grains that was in the hourglass originally. Only God, I guess, determines that. But what we can do is we can make the most out of every single grain of sand and to maximize each and every day. And I think Dave Durand epitomized this concept in his life. Some people call him Big Daddy. I didn't know him as Big Daddy. To me, he was a guy out on a tour, but I just want to send my condolences to his wife and his 2 sons, daughters-in-law, and growing extended family from Boston here on July the 4th, 2020. Thank you very much.